In essence, it was McCarthy's last-minute willingness to work with Democrats to keep the government open and the passage of key legislation to prevent a government shutdown that has now cost him his job. This was a key moment after the votes were tallied and the writing was on the wall for McCarthy.
On this vote, the yeas are 216, the nays are 210. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
The effort was spearheaded by Florida Republican Matt Gaetz, a longtime critic of the Speaker whom he has criticized for compromising with Democrats and for breaking a secret agreement that got him elected after 15 rounds in January. He also criticized a secret side deal on Ukraine funding between the ousted Speaker and the White House.
Mr. Speaker, my friend from Oklahoma says that my colleagues and I who don't support Kevin McCarthy would plunge the House and the country into chaos. Chaos is Speaker McCarthy. Chaos is somebody who we cannot trust with their word. The one thing that the White House, House Democrats, and many of us on the conservative side of the Republican caucus would argue is that the thing we have in common, Kevin McCarthy said something to all of us at one point or another that he didn't really mean and never intended to live up to.
McCarthy's efforts to appease his Republican detractors by announcing a controversial impeachment inquiry of President Joe Biden failed to prevent his demise, despite the majority of his caucus firmly behind him, including his top lieutenant.
How many of us came here because we thought this job was going to be easy? How many of us thought the task ahead of us to address the problems of this country was going to be easy? One thing we did know is that if we were going to finally start confronting problems that had been ignored for years and years and years, we had to change the way that this place worked. And one thing Speaker McCarthy embraced from day one is to start making those kind of changes to this institution, opening up the process, allowing members to be more engaged, having amendments come to the floor, single subject bills, doing appropriations bills. Yes, making that happen overnight is not something that happens automatically, but it started to happen, and we are now seeing the fruits of it.
Former Democrat Speaker Nancy Pelosi posted on social media that the Speaker is chosen by the majority party and that it was the responsibility of House Republicans to do just that, cautioning that there was no justification to depart from that tradition, as Democrats backed the resolution rather than block his ouster, which they had the power to do. The House is now without a permanent Speaker and must elect a new leader before the business of the chamber can resume, capping a few weeks that demonstrated a Republican Party in chaos and a House tasked with the people's business, unable to move ahead until a new leader is in place. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.